Yeah.
Can we chat?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
Upstairs is fine.
All right.
Alright, guys. Time for part 2 of me probably crying.
How we doing?
Not great. But I had a talk with Duke.
Okay, how'd that go?
Really well.
That's good.
He seems to be more sympathetic than anyone else.
I wasn't trying to be unsympathetic. I hope you understand that.
It's kind of what it felt like. You made
That
me
was
feel pretty bad.
the intention wasn't to make you feel bad, nor was it to be unsympathetic. It was I all right. Like I've said multiple times, the situations that have happened are not your fault. They are the people's individual faults for doing what they did, right? But that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't say that there's not things that happen in those that worry me that have triggered people to a degree, right? And like, how do I? Here's where my head's at. How do I ignore those things and just not see them as a possible problem in the long run, right? Because I'm not trying to say it's your fault. Because in an ideal world, those issues shouldn't fucking cause someone to do what they did at all. Because they're minor shit. It's minor shit. People should be able to let go of, right? But I can't control or even get other people to see them as not big issues, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
I can't control their reactions to those things, right?
but it still feels like you're trying to blame me in some way.
I don't mean to blame you, and I'm not trying to say it's your fault. I just how do I? I mean, I'm not. I mean, yes, I help in the psych department, but I'm not trained in this, right? Like
Yeah.
this is not my forte. I'm doing my best to muddle through here and try and help as best I can, but I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm not going to pretend I am. No one is. No human being is perfect. Uh, but like if I see something that worries me, how do I not bring it up?
What's worrying you?
Well, I mean the anger outbursts are slightly worrying to me, and I want to try and help, but I don't know how to.
Because I get angry sometimes?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
allowed to
again,
feel emotional.
yeah, of course. I mean, of course you're allowed to feel emotional. I'm not mad at you for feeling emotional. I'm not mad at you in the first place, by the way, just so you didn't misconstrue that. Like I'm not upset with you, so I hope you understand that.
It just feels like everyone's demonizing me for my emotions. Even Lottie brought it up. She was like, "You said some things to Shang." And it seemed like she was blaming me for everything that happened there because of what you told her. Because you spread that around, and now people think that I was the cause of everything that happened there.
No, I mean, I had a conversation with her that everything was fine up until that moment.
Everything was not fine up until that moment. What?
I don't know if you remember it as the same as I do. I mean, yes, he knocked us out with knuckle dusters, but like, if that comment hadn't been made, we were going back to the hospital, and he was going to leave us with just just tweet out that I'm the best, and that's it.
But that's still not okay. Everything was not okay up until that point. I'm allowed to be mad when he knocks us the fuck out, and maybe run my mouth a little bit,
You are. You're more than allowed to be mad.
then you
No,
spreading that around like that just feels invalidating.
I mean, spreading it around is telling a friend of mine what happened to us.
Well, maybe.
It's not. I'm not. I'm
But
not going to Joe Schmo random people and telling them
but
about
then
our
Lottie threw
business.
that back at me.
I can't control what Lottie brings to you. And I mean, again, it was like I'm not telling it to her as if like it's dirt. Here you go. Here's dirt on Joanna or something. Like if that's where you feel like I apologize, that was never the intention. I was just telling her about a situation that happened to us and what happened. I'm not trying to say that you don't have a right to be pissed off. You had a right to be pissed off. I mean, like,
Yeah.
but and like with everything, the mood shifted at that moment because while yes, we had gotten kicked, knocked around, and whatnot, it was very jovial up until that point. I'm not saying it was fun for everyone. We got fucking knocked out with knuckle dusters. That's not necessarily the most fun thing to deal with, right?
Yeah.
But it shifted from what they would consider jokey fun to a very serious matter past that. That was the point where I was like, that's where it went from one thing and became another. I mean, Pixie being mean to you though isn't. She shouldn't be doing that, regardless.
Just
And
being awful to me yesterday.
I know where her head is at, but I don't know how she's going about it. She's just worried that you get really close to your patients and then you put yourself into a detrimental position due to that.
She yelled at me that I shouldn't be friends with my patients. She was like, "Are you a friend or are you a therapist?" Because I was worried about Bozo. I'm allowed to be worried about my friend and want to be there for him. Ember was in the operating room and Bozo was freaking the fuck out, so I went to go talk to him. And Pixie was like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Like, Ember is in surgery. It's not like I'm going to directly talk to her face. I'm going there to talk to Bozo, who's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, I get you. Oh, I mean, you're allowed to be, you're allowed to be worried about your friends. That's fair. Nothing wrong with that.
And then Pixie says, "Oh, you like being a victim. This stuff never happens to me." And that's like a punch in the fucking face.
I don't think that's true. You don't like being a victim.
I don't, but she said that directly to my face.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to say.
Yeah,
I don't know why she said that. I don't.
that's why I was angry. And that's why I was angry at her coming in and being like, "Oh, don't talk to that mime," because she was probably thinking that moment that, oh, Joanna's gonna go make herself a victim again. That's the tone I got from it. Is that, oh, I need to hold your hand and stop you from doing anything because clearly you're gonna go out there and get into some shit.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that. I should have asked.
Yeah, and to have you come in with a lecture like that fucking hurt. It felt like I wasn't justified in being angry right at that moment.
No, I didn't. I didn't know that. I should have asked more. I should have figured out what was going on first before I went off or even said anything at that point. So I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I don't think that you want to be a victim, nor do I think that you're a
No?
professional victim or anything like that. Okay. Um, Everyone has issues that they have to work through, and that's just normal. And you have your stuff, and that doesn't make you wanting to be a victim.
I don't. And that's. But somehow I feel like people are just going to. Whenever I get hurt, people are going to be like, oh, she probably just asked for it again or something. Because people keep fucking targeting me.
I don't think you're asking for it, China. I know you're not. Like I hope you know that I don't think that. I don't think you're trying to have these things happen.
Yeah, I know. And I know you didn't mean the Lottie stuff. It just. I got really mad at the idea that people think everything there was my fault.
Oh, we had this conversation before. I prefaced it to you when we talked in the room here that while Shang's actions are Shang's actions, like that outburst is what shifted the mood. And you agreed that had happened. You told me that you thought the same thing when we talked about it here already. I thought we were on the same page in that matter. That's something that we have to work through ultimately, or that you'd probably need to work through with Duke ultimately because he's gonna have to be the one to do therapy. Because I really shouldn't be the one doing that. And at the end of the day, I just don't want you getting hurt. That's my entire prerogative on everything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
shit happens in the city. That's gonna happen. But like, I would prefer you not to end up in the ICU. I would prefer you not to end up stabbed. I would prefer those things not to happen. They don't make it your fault that they happened by any means.
I'm just worried the next time it happens, Pixie is just going to think it's all me. Because she already seemed to blame me for the Ember stuff. I know she did, but that's just that's what it felt like last night.
Pixie's words and actions are always a little contradictory, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because one hand she says that, but on the other hand she also really wanted to get Ember fucked up
It just
just
felt
for daring
yeah.
to fuck with you. So
It just felt like the whole night it was just blaming me.
sorry. I didn't mean to fall into that and make it seem like I was blaming you too.
Yeah.
You're more than allowed to have emotions. You're more than allowed to deal with things in whatever way you need to. And I'll do my best to be a little more supportive.
Thank you. Last night sucked. I
Yeah.
missed you.
I
Even though I
miss you
was mad
too.
at you.
Where did you end up?
Just in my car.
Hmm.
I felt like I couldn't really. There was no one I could really go to anyway. Normally I'd call up like V, but she would. She's very much of the fuck around, find out mindset. She would blame me.
Yeah.
And realizing that kind of hurt as well.
No, I understand. At the end of the day, even if I don't agree with things, I'm always going to be in your corner.
I need
I'll
that.
just do my best to ask questions in the future so I understand why you're upset first before we start talking about things.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah. Okay.
How you feeling today? Stab wise.
Still hurts, but it's alright.
Okay.
I was able to get out and walk around and, you know.
No, I get you.
I know we talked before about me getting a gun license, and I think I'm going to go through with it. Patrick Patrick suggested that, he used to have a gun and he said that he was still afraid and that he would just not have any bullets in it. So he would never be able to use it on someone and it'll be okay.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Have a gun with no bullets in it?
Yeah.
All right. If that's what you want to do, if that'll help you feel better.
I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to keep getting hurt like this.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah. It just keeps happening.
I know. The city has a way of kicking you when you're down, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can at the end of the day and help you feel like you don't, or you have more control.
Yeah.
And if this is one of those things, then we do it. And that's easy. Hopefully that'll help to a degree.
Yeah.
And hopefully talking with Duke will help as well.
Yeah. It was
Even if
helpful today.
he might need some help as well. I think he needs to speak to someone as well because he's going through some things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know who he can speak to though. Because I doubt he'll talk to Pixie.
God, I don't even want to face Pixie after all of this. I don't even know what to say. Because I doubt she's ever going to listen. And I'm probably going to end up forgiving Ember because Ember wants to talk with me. Apparently, she wasn't in her right mind. And if Pixie finds out about that, Pixie's going to lose her shit.
I mean, Pixie doesn't really get to say who you do and don't forgive though.
Yeah, but if she ever hears that I like talk to Ember or, forgive her and hang out with the clowns again.
I mean, again, that's not really up to Pixie, though, at the end of the day. It's not up to me. It's not up to Duke. That's not up to anyone else but you. If you want to be around people, then you're going to be around them, whether people tell you not to, or, you know?
Yeah, but she's gonna keep making those comments.
Then that's a conversation that you need to have with her and telling her not to.
Has that ever stopped Pixie?
I mean, you got to set a boundary at some point, right? If there's stuff that you're hearing her say that's not helping you, you need to say like, "This isn't helpful to me, and I need to stop hearing it."
Yeah.
I mean, Pixie's allowed her opinion. Everyone's allowed their opinions. Doesn't mean that they're to be always taken into full advisement, but they're allowed to think whatever the fuck they want ultimately. But that doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you always have to hear it.
Just like Lottie's allowed to think what she wants.
I mean, at the end of the day, Lottie can have her opinion on your therapy and whatnot, but that's her opinion of it. That's
Yeah.
not.
I'm still so confused about all that because she brought up the Shang stuff. She brought up me talking to her, trying to help her out, which I told her you can tell me to leave at any time. And the second she did, I left her. So I
Uh,
don't understand why she was mad.
I mean, from what I understand, she felt like she was being therapized from the get go.
I specifically told her, hey, you can tell me to leave at any time. I just want to talk here.
I mean, again, I don't
And I gave her
know.
the option.
I get you, and I mean, she did say that when she told you fuck off, you fucked off. So, um, I don't know though. I mean, I don't have the full context on that conversation. I just barely got a gist of it, and just her stating that she felt like she was being therapized from the get go, and it wasn't what she wanted, and she was hesitant to talk to you. Blah blah blah. Essentially, I don't have the full picture on that, so I can't speak for her, nor should I speak for her in that moment. Right? That would be a conversation between you and her, where you hash that out if that were to be the case. Um,
And then the Anya stuff, but Anya doesn't doesn't think I did a bad job telling her about the Kizu stuff. I literally went and grabbed Naya and Perry to help me break the news because I knew it would be hard. And they were Kizu's friends.
I don't know. I mean, Perry said that from an outside perspective, it did seem blunt to her, but I don't know if
Naya
Anya
said it seemed
maybe.
fine.
Again, everyone's perspectives are different, right? Uh,
And I am still talking with Anya and helping her out and making sure that she has people there for her. I introduced her to Pixie, I introduced her to Arthur.
gotcha.
We've made so many efforts to do well by people and still gets thrown back in my face.
Understand. I mean, Lottie's opinion is Lottie's opinion ultimately.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't want to worry about it too much because that's her thing at the end of the day. I'm just going to let it go.
Generally best to just let that go and let it be hers. I mean, I'm sure you guys can have a chance to talk about it at some point if you feel like in the future, but maybe just leave it be for the time being.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it.
No. I mean, ultimately, if
But yeah, I wanted to talk that
Anya's,
out for you.
hmm?
I just wanted to talk that out with you.
No, I understand.
Plan usurp Pixie should start for real. Yeah. If this is how
Yeah,
she
I mean,
acts.
I don't have the full insight there to be able to understand it fully. I just know where
Yeah.
her things were and what she stated as to it, so I get it. It's confusing to a degree, but I mean,
Yeah. I know I
yeah,
probably fucked up a bit with Anya at first because I didn't know I was walking into grief therapy, and then I did, and I'm not good at it. You know, you can't always prepare for these kinds of things.
I understand.
I did the best I could and gave my advice, and
No, I understand. I know you did. You always do what you can, and you're never trying to hurt anyone in the process or anything like that. So there's never any problems from that end. You've always had the best intentions, Joanna.
yeah,
That's really does matter, in my opinion. That matters.
I never want anyone to be hurt or to feel like I did anything.
I
And
understand.
it hurts that other people have these opinions of me. That people think I'm asking for things or that I'm too emotional or that I can't handle things.
Yeah,
Yeah. And maybe I am too emotional over what other people think of me, but I can't help it.
I know. Everyone deals with things in different ways. I mean, I sure people don't like me. Certain people. Razzle's a good one. I don't like him either. He's a fucking jackass. So why I fired his ass.
Oh,
Um.
you fired him?
Oh yeah, no, he was in here being a fucking dickhead. Just saying a bunch of shit and pissing me off. And just literally egging me on the entire time in there, like, because he came in with fucking a microphone and he was just in the ER,
Wow.
uh asking questions and then bringing me up in subtle ways in it, and saying like dickhead and shit like that, and like then asking questions like, should a resident or should a staff doctor be calling a intern a bitch and saying that they're all about their job, and because he brought up the fact that Atkins called him a bitch. He's just saying a bunch of shit
Wow.
and asking other doctors to try and get like their takes on it while I'm around, and I'm just like, you want to bring up the fact that you called her a bitch under your breath as you walked the fuck out? Like, fuck you, dude. You didn't even have the balls to call her a bitch with full force. You walked out and muttered bitch under your breath. What the fuck are you on about? And even when he mentioned it to us in the fucking room, he said he muttered it. Like, motherfucker, like, you don't even have the balls to even take like possession of the fact you called her a bitch. You even admit that you muttered it. Like, come on. So I got permission from Duke. I was like, I'm like, if I was a lesser person who didn't give a shit about my job, he'd be bleeding and be on the fucking floor right now. But you know, I
Jeez.
do care about my job, and I'm not a violent individual like that. So, uh, he gave me the permission, and I did it. Fucking fired his ass on the spot. Said, "You since you hate it here so much, you're fired. Fuck you. Get out of this
Ooh,
hospital."
god damn.
And then he just goes, "Finally," and then and then he's like, "Can you even ask me to leave?" I'm like, "Yep,
Wow.
I can. I can ask you to fucking leave. Get the fuck out." So, yeah, I mean, people are going to see you the way they're going to see you, and you have zero control over that. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, and I completely understand that differently, right? Like, you know, I care to a degree, just like anyone does, about my personal opinion, people's opinions of me, right? But at the end of the day, the people that I care about most opinions are the people like you. I care about your opinion. I care about like Duke's opinion. I care about Cantor's opinion. Those are the people I give a shit about, right? If their
Yeah.
opinions are problematic, then I understand that, you know, that's a problem. And I get why you'd be upset by, you know, like say Pixie, she's a big person in your life. So her opinion matters to you. Understandable why that would be a problem. But random Joe Blow, fuck them. Their opinions don't really matter at the end of the day. I mean, Lottie is someone you see, but like, while her opinion matters to a degree, it shouldn't matter to you too much because she's not a big person in your life.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's not gonna hurt, and so those don't take that as me trying to diminish it, right? It's just, I mean, it's, you know, she's basically a work acquaintance as far as I can tell. I mean, she's a semi friend of mine, but like we don't do things outside of work. When I care about her opinion, um,
Mm.
because she's a friend of mine. But I mean, that doesn't mean her opinion is the guaranteed go to, right? I'm not gonna listen to her opinion necessarily over say like yours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, fine.
What are we doing?
I'm giving you a hug.
Oh. Hmm.
Sorry again.
No, not Hig. Yeah. Apology accepted.
You know I love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
How was doctor meeting today?
It was okay.
Anything happen?
No, just the same old, just going through everything. Nothing new necessarily, other than I did find out that while Fraser said that he recommended me, he didn't actually recommend me to anyone
What?
before he left.
Wow.
The son of a bitch. So yeah, we'll see how things go in that regard. Cantor and them are doing what they're doing on their end to try and push things. So we'll see how things shake out. But like no formal offering or anything of attending as of yet.
One day.
Which I'm
You'll get
fair.
it.
Okay, well.
Oh god, apparently Anya's downstairs.
Oh,
She said, I have fucked up my lung bad again. I'm being told I need surgery again.
that's not a good one.
Nope, not a good one. Catch a break.